Okay, hi everyone. We are back again for another episode of the project analysis. This is Bendy here, and this time round we are going to talk about the Lentor Central Residences. Okay, you have yet to like and subscribe our channel. Please remember to just like and subscribe this video, or like this video and subscribe to the channel. And let's start with our Lentor Central Residences analysis. Alright, so this project is actually a sixth project in the whole of the Lentor collection. So as you can see, we've got three major developers coming together for this Lentor Central Residences, namely the Leong Holdings as well as the Guaco Land and CSC Land. Well, I would say that the Leong and Guaco has been heading this whole Lentor project, Lentor New Township, for quite some time, because the previous 5 plots of land, they actually, I would say that they're the master developer of this whole Lentor New Township, because out of the 5 projects, they actually have 4 of it, namely the Lentor Modern, Lentor Hills Residences, Lentoria. It is actually by TID, but it is a kind of like a sister company that's under them, as well as we have the latest Lentor Mansion that was launched in 2024 March. Okay, so they definitely have the experience of this terrain in this Lentor area. So we also believe in their finishings and the fixtures that they are providing. Right. So the quick project details that we have: the Lentor Central Residences consists of 2 towers with a 28-story and 27-story, and these two will mount up to about 477 units. In fact, for car park lots, we have more than enough. We have EV lots supplied as well. And this project, I would say, it actually put a lot of other Lentor projects into a lot of pressure, because having a size of about 15,000 square meter, they are actually able to accommodate a childcare center as well as 6 swimming pools. I mean, the sky terrace and the landscape decking, these are pretty normal, but for any other projects in the Lentor area, I don't think we are able to accommodate swimming pool, tennis court, as well as the childcare center. So I think this is something that is worth shouting out for. In fact, this project is actually under the Ang Mo Kio planning area, which we're going to touch on a little bit more later. Alright, architect-wise, we have the P&T Consultants and Lian Bing Construction as the builder, and we are expecting it to TOP in the 3rd quarter of 2028, likely sometimes could be earlier. Right, next up, let's take a look at the unit breakdown here. So we have the 1-bedder, 2 and 3 4-bedders available. But for the 1-bedder wise, we actually have a 1+ study, which is just a very, very rare of just 2 units. Okay, we'll touch on a little bit more on the floor plan analysis later. But looking at the breakdown, we see that very good, close to 60% is actually a small bedder units, whereas we have the big size unit at about 40%, right? So looking at this, I think that the developer, they are actually targeting a lot on the young family they are moving out. This is what we call the fragmentation of family, because in the Lentor area, what government's planning over here, I believe, would be actually to accommodate and decentralize the overpopulated Sengkang Punggol, the overpopulated Bishan and Ang Mo Kio, or even the Yishun area. So these people, when they grow up in their own township, and now after growing up, they want to move out of their area. This is what we call fragmentation. And then they still want to live near their parents. This is where Lentor provides a very good location for them, right? So yeah, so we're going to take a look at the kind of pricing strategy that the developer may adopt. So looking at this source, we have the Lentor Central parcel actually sold in 2023 September at a price of 435 million. So mounting up all the construction costs and everything, it probably gives you about close to 1,008 in terms of the break-even price. All right. So with that, I just want to do again a very generic markup in terms of 15 and 20%. Based on that, we should be looking at an average PSF of about 2,100. Well, in my opinion, I think this is going to be very attractive if the developer were to be just launching around 2001. Now, the reason is because this is actually a harmonized plot of land. If you'd like to know more about how a post-harmonized project able to help you save some money, stay till the end of the video. I'm going to show you a comparison of how much you can save by purchasing a harmonized project over here. Okay, so moving on, at about 2,100 PSF, like I say, I think it's going to be a very attractive price, because in the OCR region, resale pricing are transacting around 1,009 to 2,100 PSF, and that is just around the vicinity. For example, we have Panorama. If you look at the transaction of Panorama, it is actually transacting about 1,009 to 2,001, and the OCR new launch are transacting about 2,002 to 2,800 PSF in the recent new launch. We know what project it is, right? And also the upcoming OCR new launch in the pipeline of 2025, we are also expecting about 2,003 to 2,600 PSF. So if developer is going to launch Lentor Central Residences at 2,100 PSF, which gives us around this area kind of pricing, I think it will be really, really fantastic. A very safe entry price for you to enter. Now, as you're pondering whether this is a safe entry PSF, earlier on, we actually went on down to the show gallery and I saw the 2+ study, 3-bedder, as well as the 4-bedder premium. Very, very fantastic layout. We're going to touch on that in the layout analysis, but we got a special approval from the developer to show you the video walkthrough of this 3 show unit. So if you don't have time to go down to the show gallery, this is a chance for you to take a look at the 3 different types of show unit, and let's go. Alright, hi everyone. Today we are at the Lentor Central Residences Showflat and we get a special approval from developer to allow us to shoot the show unit. So right now, I'm going to show you a 4-bedder unit. This is at 1399 square feet. Really fantastic. I already run through the layout once on paper and also I came here and take a look. So first of all, we actually have a bomb shelter right here. So one very good selling point of this 4-bedder is that we are getting not just one, not just two, but 3 different storage space. So this is the first one that we have, what we call the home shelter. A lot of people, they might just want to store up their stuff over here. So as we come in, you get a lot of privacy from this kind of entrance foyer layout. But what I want to highlight here is that we have a very huge kitchen. I mean, for a 4-bedder, we want to have a family profile coming in. So this kind of large size kitchen is really important. All the finishings are provided with the racking as well. The main thing is about the glass panel over here, because you would agree with me that kitchen is mostly the darkest part of the house, but with these full glass panels over here, you actually get a lot of natural light coming in, especially when we have a rectilinear layout in the living dining area. I'll touch on that later, but let's carry on with our kitchen tour. This is the second store area we talk about. They actually have a niche that's built inside. I think this is really fantastic because a lot of times you got your this cleaning materials and your cooking ingredients that you want to store away, but you do not want to put it in the bomb shelter, right? So this is actually a very good addition where the developer put in this storage area as well. Finishing, or rather the appliances wise, we actually have SMAC, which is a high quality Sweden branding for the oven and the cooker and the hob as well. Alright, and over here you get to see that if you do have a stay-in helper, let me get my camera lady to get inside. If you are having this stay-in helper, this utility store area is the third area we're talking about. I'm not talking about storing your helper away, but you are actually using that as a helper's room so that you don't sacrifice your home shelter or any of your room, of your bedroom for your helper. So I would say for Lentor Central Residences, the layout is something that stands out the most amongst all the Lentor projects so far. Okay, let's take a look at the rectilinear layout of the living area. A lot of times developer, they are not putting in the sofa or the dining table in this manner because that would actually show the place being very cramped up. But what developer over here they did is that they actually put up everything to show you the huge and wide 5.35 meters wall-to-wall distance. That's where you really can have a very comfortable dining area. At the same time, you still can have at least a 2.4 meters sofa over here. All right. For this balcony, I think one very good point is that it's not entirely huge. Even though we have a wall-to-wall of 5.35, but you actually see that the balcony is slightly shorter, which is okay because sometimes you do not want to compromise your living space on the balcony area. We have an electrical point over there. We also have a water point just right at the side for your cleaning purposes. Okay. Now, a 4-bedder over here. This 4-bedder layout actually gives you en-suites, or rather an attached bath to any of the bedroom. I think this is very important because today if you are living with your elderly folks or you're living with your kids, you do not want them to stumble upon in the middle of night. So this is the first common room, about 9 square meters, nicely built up with a Jack and Jill bathroom. Okay, and connecting it to the other common room. I will see you at the next common room because this is a Jack and Jill. Hello. Okay, so this is a second 9 square meter common room. All right, leading up to the corridor area, brings you to the master bedroom itself. To be honest, I don't think the space for master room is fantastic. But at least we still can fit in a king size bed. We still can have some sort of like a side table and a dressing table by the side. But I do feel a little bit of a claustrophobic in the master room. Okay, reason is because they actually put most of the space over here, or rather part of the space over here, into some sort of like a walk-in wardrobe area. So a lot of times people might complain that one wardrobe space is not enough, so they actually give you 2 panels of the wardrobe. I think this is what a master room should be. As we come into the master bathroom, this is typical layout. I wouldn't say fantastic or anything, but at least you have the windows that's built just in the shower area.
okay, which I will share with you why window in the shower area is actually better than windows outside the shower area. Okay, so this one, if we want to know, you can drop me a DM. All right, if not, let's take a look at the last common room, which is on my left side, which is also a Jack and Jill connection to the toilet as well. So like I say, all the 4 rooms actually comes with this attached bath. It gives you a lot of convenience. All right, so we are here at the Lentor Central Residences 4-bath layout with 3 stores, and at the same time you get a very full rectilinear layout living dining. It is really a fantastic layout so far in the Lentor area. So if you'd like to come and take a look, just drop me a DM and we're going to show you the place. Okay, so after we've seen the 4-bedder, right now we also have a 2+ study unit. This 2+ study unit is actually a 756 square feet. Bear in mind that 756 square feet, this is a post-harmonized layout. So if you're going to compare this with the pre-harmonized, it's probably close to a 800 square feet 2+ study. So without much further ado, let's head on in, take a look. I want the camera to go in first because from there you will be able to see that we have a whole stretch of almost 8.9 meters from the door to the balcony sliding door. And this is really giving you that whole entire luxurious view. Alright, a lot of people will say that this 2+ study is some sort like a mini 3-bedder. In fact, if we are going to pull out the floor plan shortly, looking at the floor plan, you're able to see that this kind of floor plan itself is again a very effective floor plan. I'm just going to share with you a little bit more about this dining area over here, because a lot of times for 2-bedder, the dining area would very likely be facing one of the common bathroom, which is very sad because you're going to eat your dinner and lunch outside the common bathroom. But for this, it's actually very nice situated at one corner without the entrance to the common bathroom. So where is the common bathroom? The common bathroom actually gives a connection to the study area. So this is a whole study area where that is why I say that it is almost like a mini 3-bedder. For this space of study over here, you can easily convert this into a mini room if let's say you have a kids that is staying with you. Okay, so it links you directly to the common bath, and of course we have very premium finishing as well. All the storages are all provided for. Well, nothing much to shout out for a 2+ study bathroom. Unfortunately, all the 2-bedders in the current market, you are not able to get any windows in the bathroom itself. So this is the common room, which also connects to This is a common room which also connects to the toilet, and some sort like you have a junior ensuite itself, apart from the master bedroom that we have. Okay, so we're going to check out the master bedroom. Nothing really much to shout out for, but if we look at the size, it's still pretty fantastic. We have a king size bed with side tables possible, and comes with an attached bath. Okay, so today if you are looking at a 2+ study at 756 square feet, with very nice layout, how they actually position the whole study area as well as the living dining area. I think the developer has did a great job by doing this. When you walk into it, it almost feels like a 3-bedder itself. Alright, so next up we're going to check out the 3-bedder premium in the Lentor Central Residences. Let's go. 1076 square feet for a 3-bedder premium. Again, this is post-harmonized. To be honest, it's a pretty normal layout. Just a few things to talk about. Probably I should also talk about the 3 meters wall-to-wall distance, because a lot of times some of the other developments, they probably only give you a 2.8 or 2.9 meters, which I think at least you should have a 3 meter for a 3-bedder premium over here. Alright, so balcony space, nothing much that I should be talking about. I do feel that the 2 and the 4-bedder, or even the 1+ study, has got very good layout over here, but this 3 premium is pretty normal. I wouldn't say it's great or anything, but it's pretty normal. We have 2 of the common rooms over here at also about 9 square meters. And partly also because this is the 3rd video I'm doing, so there isn't much things to talk about. We have another common toilet, comes with the attached bath, but this time round, the window is outside the shower area. Well, pros and cons to it. Maybe I can also share with you a little bit more about why having a window in the shower area is much better. All right, and then lastly we have now this size of a 3-bedder premium for the master. I think is fantastic. All right, because we have the side table by this side, and also have a study area. So just now I didn't talk about this full height glass window, which I probably should point it out because you are actually having a huge panel of glass window. Alright, and if you get a correct facing for Lentor Central Residences, you are able to have a very nice, perfect view, great vantage of the Hillock Park itself. In fact, in Lentor Central Residences, we are looking at this as the tallest building in the whole of the Lentor collection, right? And with this tallest building, you probably get this as a very iconic project in the resale market. So today, if you are going to having a lot of competition, you are worried about having a lot of competition when you exit, then you should get something with a very good layout, number one, and also having something that is iconic in the Lentor region. Alright, so that's all for the home tour today. I am going to just rush out the video before the launch, which is on the 22nd of February. So do let me know if you like to actually view do let me know if you actually like to view the Showflat in person, but if not, please help to like and subscribe and share this video with every of your families and friends.
Okay, so we are back again in the studio. So right now, I'm just going to share with you a little bit more about the location of the Lentor area, because a lot of people, they may say that, hey, Lentor is very ulu, I don't know where is it. In fact, Lentor itself is actually under the subzone of the whole Ang Mo Kio planning, alright? This whole area you see here is actually Ang Mo Kio, and then they actually extended it out to have a little new township, because previously in the core of the Lentor area is predominantly landed properties and private property. So right now with the new planning, they actually extended it this way to allow more 99 years leasehold condominium to sprout up. Okay, so as of now, this is the 6th plot of land. Coming over here, we see that in terms of the location, we are just 3 minutes walk away from the Lentor MRT station, which is also an integrated project together with Lentor Modern. We have the Lentor Mall as well. So all these are just 3 minutes walk away, right? We have retail shops, we have supermarkets and such. Well, in terms of school-wise, we have Anderson Primary, which is within 1 km of Lentor Central Residences. Well, further out, if you like to have some hawker food, and then we can go on to the 628 Ang Mo Kio Market. You know, very nice chicken rice over there. I am always there for the chicken rice. Alright, further out, of course, we have the CHIJ St. Nick's Girls' School, as well as we have this Yio Chu Kang Secondary School. These are for the secondary school people. In terms of the JC, we have Anderson Serangoon JC, also within the vicinity. So in fact, if you were to actually get ready for the north-south corridor in the time to come, it actually brings you down to the town area pretty fast in just about 25 minutes. And because we are on the Thomson East Coast Line, it also brings you to the Orchard MRT, or rather the Orchard downtown, in also just about 5 stops. Alright, so I would say that in terms of this new township coming up, all the infrastructures are coming in place. I think Lentor is the next place that you may want to consider living in, because if we look at the URA Masterplan over the years from 2008 all the way to 2019, we see the government are actually placing a lot of emphasis and converting it into a residential plot of land. So all these are very good telltale signs. If today we were to buy a property, we want to make sure that we buy into somewhere that government are actually taking emphasis on, and we do see the changes coming up in this whole new township, right? So we also see that with the sprouting out of the different residential development, we also have parks that are nearby. So this is actually directly connected to our Hillock Park, and this park itself is going to be managed by the government body and parks. Alright, links you to the linear park, and as you go down this way, it goes over to the Thomson Central Catchment area, which is also the reservoir area. So I think this is a very nice place to live in. You get your recreational needs, you get your shopping needs, you get your amenities, you get your school as well. So it's a very much of an own stay vibe in the Lentor region. Alright, next up, let's have a better understanding of the 6 different projects in the area, because all of them are going to be neighbors, and in fact, all of them are going to be a little bit of a competition out there when it comes to the resale market. Alright, so in 2022, the first plot of land that was sold is actually Lentor Modern. This is actually an integrated product where you have about 605 units. In fact, you have a child care center as well, and in terms of the shopping itself, I think we should be expecting quite a little bit of retail outlets over there. And then we have the second plot of land at Lentor Hills Road. This is a Lentor Hills Residences. Some people may have seen it before as a 八字形, the Chinese 8. Also, is in terms of feng shui, I think it's very nice. This is about close to 600 units as well. And then the third plot of land that was launched in 2023 November was a Hillock Green. Now, Now, this is the plot of land that, in my opinion, the master developer, Guaco and Hong Leong actually lost it. Okay, so this is the only plot of land that is not under Hong Leong and Guaco's care, right? We have about 474 units over here, ranging from 1 to 4 bedder. And the fourth plot of land, Lentoria, the smallest plot of land, which is also the furthest away from MRT station. This is about 267 units. Now, the fifth plot of land, Lentor Mansion, performed really well just in 2024 March period, right? Got 533 units. I think this is the only project in the area that has got a 5-bedder configuration. All right. So if you're looking for a 5-bedder, I think there are still some 5-bedder units available. So as of the time of filming, right? And then we have the sixth plot of land, which is Lentor Central Residences. This time around, 477 units, as I mentioned. Well, we also noticed that there are potentially going to be the 7th plot, the 8th plot, the 9th plot, the 10, 11, 12 plots of land. Now, we must understand that this is actually not the kind of oversupply, because I trust that our Singapore government does this planning really well. They only make sure that there are demand before they supply the land. So for now, we are stopped at the land number 6. Whether the 7, 8, 9, 10 are going to come out or not, we are really not quite sure, but these are residential plot of land. If there is a demand, I'm sure these plots of land will be released. All right, and that also brings us to the point. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Brings us to the point on the facing of Lentor Central. We got 2 general facing, right? We have this facing the future development, as well as the Hillock Park facing. Of course, the park facing would be better because you actually have a better frontage. The next building will be pretty far away at Lentor Mansion, and you enjoy good scenery view of the Hillock Park. All right, so I've superimposed it in all to get the clearer idea, because this time round we see that Lentor Central Residences has got 2 different blocks, very similar to Hillock over here, even though Hillock is 3 blocks, but it looks like the same orientation, the same building, because they want to maximize good view of the Hillock Park. All right. Now, if you are selecting projects, or rather if you are selecting units that are facing in this direction, you do have to make mental preparation that in future there may be a future construction coming up because of the development at 2.8 plot ratio. 2.8 plot ratio is similar to what we have here in Lentor Central Residences. So probably you will also go up to 25 to 30 story thereabouts, right? So some of the facing you do actually have to take note of the consideration, which I will share with you more at the layout analysis. So in the whole of the Lentor area, we have a supply of close to 2,950 units, and as of today of filming, the unsold supply is about 173 units, which is extremely low. Okay, here are all the units being added up together. That's how you get your close to 3,000 units. So now I'm going to zoom in onto the site plan, but there is actually a little bit tweak in terms of the orientation. That is the reason why I actually put Hillock Park over here and future development facing, so that it doesn't confuse you in that sense. All right, so we're looking at the 2 bayders over here. These are the 2 bayders with 2 different facing. You have the north and you have the south facing as well, so you have pretty good choice. But if you are looking at a 1 bayder, then you only have one choice, which is also just facing the north direction, our future development. Right, coming on to the purple color, these are actually our 3 bedders. 3 bedders wise, we also got a very good selection. I think out of the 4 stacks of the 3 bedders, I think the best stack, the premium one, would actually be stack number 2 here. Although you do get a little bit of the slanted west sun coming into the balcony area. But I think stack number 2 would be really good, because you get a good vast view of the Hillock Park, as well as for low floors, you still get very nice pool view itself. Alright, and then coming on to the pink color, all these are the 4 bedder. Of course, in my opinion, 13 would be actually very good. 16 would be the premium, because this is fully unblocked and you actually get very good layout. Later on we're going to see, right? So we actually have our 6 different pools. I think we got 6. This is what, as per what the information is given, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Even the smaller spa pool we also consider lah. Okay, but the main 50-meter lap pool is over here. We got the children pool, and we have another relaxed pool. So with this kind of land plot, having a lot of water bodies, I think is fantastic. We also have a full-fledged tennis court. Some of the developments, the tennis court is half only, if you all know, you haven't seen it before. But this is actually a full tennis court, and underneath the tennis court over here is actually our childcare center, where people can come in and pick their kids. So this childcare, or the size of it, the capacity of it, we have no idea yet, but we know that for sure this childcare center is going to be open up to the public, not just for the residents of LCR itself. Okay, facilities wise, I think it's pretty common, but we actually have a sky garden at the 14th floor, as well as on the 18th floor, just around this corner, we actually have the barbecue pits at level 18 as well. Okay, so it's like a sky pavilion for you to host your families and guests. And right now, I'm just going to flash some of the photos and perspectives of this project, so enjoy the video. Right, coming back here again, we are going to start with our floor plan analysis. But before that, remember to like and subscribe to our channel so that you are informed of all the different project analyses that is coming up. Alright, so for one bedder wise over here in the Lentor Central Residences, I'm just going to show you two different stacks at stack 6 and 11. Both are actually facing the future development. So what is the difference over here? Actually, let me just point out to you very clearly. It is only the fridge position that is different. So if you are someone who prefers that everything to go in one straight row, then you will have to choose stack 11. But my personal favorite, I would think that there is this very crucial magical triangle that needs to be formed in terms of kitchen. So actually I got this information from some workflow analysis that if your fridge and your washing area and your cooking area actually forms up a triangle, it actually helps you in a very good workflow. For example, you get your food out from the fridge, you go to the washing area, you prepare your food at the tabletop, and then you cook your food and you put the leftover food back into the fridge. So this is a very good flow. This is my personal opinion. I think if I am someone who is purchasing a one bedder, I would definitely prefer a triangle in the kitchenette area rather than a galley one. Well, I mean, this is not wrong. It's still a good layout because the rest of the master room and living area, we still get very good space. Maybe this one can be a little bit better at 2.8 meters, but right now for one bedder, we are getting at 2.7 meters. Right? So yeah, that's pretty much for one bedder. And so there is actually a very special 1 plus study, just 2 units available at level 1 of stack 5 and 14. Okay, so if we're going to look at stack 5 and 14, it will be stack 5 and 14. So you do get some choice, but these are ground level units where you have your direct access from the PES. Okay, so the 1 plus study over here, actually some sort almost like a mini 2-bedder, because the study area, if you were to fit in a single bed, you actually get to enter from the master bathroom as well. So it's pretty much like a 2-bed, 1 bath, okay? And you also have a enclosable kitchen. This is extremely rare in the market because we really don't see any 1 plus study or 1 bedder that actually has got an opportunity for you to enclose your kitchen. I think the last one I saw was Eco in the Tanah Merah area. But if not, I think this layout is really fantastic. I wonder why the developer didn't want to build more of this layout, but just 2 units, right? So coming in from the door, you actually get a very wide view of the whole area. So it gives you that spaciousness with the study in place, right? In terms of wall to wall, is right now is 2.8 meters ready, which I think is better than the previous 1 bedder. So yeah, in my opinion, I think they should have built more of this 581 square feet rather than the previous 1 bedder. Okay, so we're coming on to the 2-bedder layout analysis. Unfortunately, in Lentor Central Residences, there is no 2-bed, 1 bath. Okay, all the 2 bedders over here are actually 2-bed, 2 baths. So we look at the 2 different type of layout, namely the stack 10 and stack 18. So stack 10 is actually what we call the dumbbell layout, where the 2 rooms are on both sides of the living area, whereas the stack 18 one would actually be a traditional layout where both rooms are actually on one side. So pros and cons to each its own. I personally would prefer the dumbbell layout because it's a full maximized use of space, but there are people who prefers the traditional layout because they want more privacy in their master bedroom, right? So let me just analyze this stack for you first at stack 10. Okay, coming in again, you do see that we do get that very wide entrance and spacious feeling, and that's also the reason why I gave my vote to stack number 10 over here, right? You have an enclosable kitchen, though we don't have natural ventilation for kitchen, but I think this is still good enough because you are experiencing a wide entrance area over here. So if you do your cooking, you can just leave your main doors open, right? With this kind of dumbbell layout, you actually get a very spacious dining area, which can even fit up to a 6-seater. So this is the advantage of it, I would say. But if you compare it with a traditional layout and you were to put up a 6-seater, then you will compromise on your walking space, right? So coming back again, both the rooms are by the side. We also have a Jack and Jill entrance. So with this kind of dumbbell layout, you some sort get a 2 ensuite kind of feeling because both rooms have direct access to the bathroom. Whereas coming on to the traditional layout, only the master room has that access to the master bathroom, to the toilet. Whereas the bedroom 2 will actually have to go through 2 sets of doors before you can reach the toilet. I mean, not a big deal, but I think it's better to actually have that Jack and Jill concept. And if you're an investor looking at this video and wondering which is better, right? I think both are good because this kind of layout actually allows you to partition out maybe even the living area and convert it into another room with a single bed. So you can actually do it as a co-living concept as well. That would possibly help you to fetch a higher rental overall. Okay? So we're done with the two beders. Let's take a look at stack 10 and 18. Both are all facing the future development, but you do have a very fast setback before you hit the next development. And in fact, for the lower floor people, you actually get a good quiet pool view as well. So both 10 and 18, I think is a very good stack, but if I were to give my vote, I would give my vote to stack 10, which is a dumbbell layout. Okay, coming on next to another type of two-bedder right here. This is at stack 1. Okay, the difference over here, you may see that both are pretty much the same, but the difference over here is that at stack 1, you actually experience a more narrow walk-in, even though the space is the same, because the wall itself extends higher as compared to the one at stack 10. So with this kind of feeling, right, as a future buyer enters the unit, it does give them a little bit of a narrow and squeezy feeling. So again, my vote will go on to stack 10, that gives you that more squarish living dining area, longer as well. And stack 1 is actually better facing, you see. So developers, they are really very good at balancing out. In my opinion, I think the better layout is stack 10, but I don't have an unblocked Hewlett Park view. But if you're someone who are big on having a good unblocked view, then I think this should be a very small issue, because stack number 1 over here actually faces the Hewlett Park. You get a vast greenery view. But you know, stack 10, you actually get that future development just pretty far away from you. Alright, coming on to the 2+ study. This time round, I'm also going to do a quick comparison between the different 2+ studies layout, namely at stack 14 as well as 4 and 15. So what is the difference here? The difference is that at stack 14, you actually see that the study and the kitchen is being stacked up side by side, whereas on the other 2 stacks, the study and the kitchen is actually diagonally opposite each other. Alright, so well, if you ask me, I will choose this one over here, because again, coming in from the door, it gives that first impression that you have a wider and more spacious 2+ study over here, whereas this one will feel a little bit more squeezy in a sense, right? Also, because stack 4 and 15, you actually have a glass panel for your kitchen, so your kitchen will be a little bit more brighter in the sense, but for this one over here, you don't have a glass panel to accommodate that, right? The rest of it, I think pretty much the same. Room size are pretty good as well, so I'm not going to touch too much on the room size because all are pretty much the same. Alright, one thing I want to touch on is this RC ledge over here. These are not within your strata area, it's just the facade of the building. Well, if you have watched my previous videos before, you will know that I have emphasis in terms of unit selection, and we are looking into that RC ledge, whether it's there or not. And in my opinion, at stack 14, with such a huge RC ledge, in the time to come, it may build up with a lot of algae and dirt and everything, so it may be unsightly from your master room. So I don't think that stack 14 is the best, but let's take a look at the facing. Stack 14 gives you a very good unblocked view of Hewlett Park, whereas stack 4 and 15 also gives you that good view of Hewlett Park, whereas stack 4 is on the north facing itself. So unit selection, please take note of this, right? Next up, we're going to take a look at this stack 14 and 09. What exactly is the difference over here? Well, it is similar in terms of the study and kitchen being side by side, but the difference right now is that we actually have 11 square feet more than stack 14. Why? Because we are looking at a more squarish layout as compared to this. You have a little of gaps over here. Alright, so this 11 square feet gives you an extended living dining area, so it's longer if you compare. Right? Whether or not you want to pay 11 square feet more for that, I think it's about 20,000. You decide yourself. Alright? Next up, we also want to do a comparison between Lentor Hills Residences 2+ study layout, because these are your future resale competitor in the time to come. So the 2+ study layout in Lentor Hills Residences, study area is actually parked in between the bedroom and the bathroom too. I mean, they are doing this because they give you the flexibility to hack down this wall to create a bigger room, which is not the master room. And if you're going to create this, it's going to be bigger than the master room, right? So I don't think it's necessary. I will still feel that maybe Lentor Central Residences layout is a little bit more flexible, because having the study in this area, you can actually have it as another mini room for your helper, maybe. Or you can actually convert this into a pantry area, build some carpentry. Or you can even convert this into a storage area. So there are a lot more flexibility in the Lentor Central Residences layout compared to the Lentor Hills Residences, because the only way is to either use it as a study or you just want to hack it down for a bigger room. I think that is one very crucial point. Okay, and now we are coming on to the 3-bedder layout analysis. So, 3-bedder in Lentor Central Residences, we've got two different types. We've got a 3-bedder compact at 915 square feet. We have two different stacks at stack 7 and 12. And then we also have a bigger premium 3-bedder at 1076 square feet, stack 17 and stack 2. Okay, but let's start off with the smaller 3-bedder, or what I call the 3-bedder compact first. Depends on how you look at it, because a lot of people might feel that this entrance area is a little bit kind of a wasted space, but I feel that you probably can actually build some shoe cabinets over here. Gives you a little bit of a privacy that doesn't look directly into your living dining. So yeah, I think this is good, but for a 3-bedder compact, what is lacking is actually the yard area. The developer in Lentor Central Residences, I think they did a great job, because if you do not want to build up this storage cabinet over here, you actually have a full 1 square meter storage over here. I think for own stay, storage is pretty important, and they actually took into consideration about that. Alright, so coming in, usually in the market, 3-bedder compact doesn't come with enclosable kitchen or even a natural ventilation. But over here, you're actually getting that very good layouts provided by the developer. In fact, when I saw the Lentor Central Residences layout, I think it beats all the other 3-bedder layout in Lentor, hands down, really. Because you do get that enclosable kitchen and a pretty decent living and dining area with a wall-to-wall distance of 3 meters. And so if you are getting a 3-bedder compact, well, the only thing is that you don't really get the yard area. So most of your laundry has to be done in the balcony. Can be a little bit unsightly, so before your family and friends visit you do have to keep them away. That's the only thing. But we have all the rooms all facing one direction. We have the toilets also having a natural ventilation. So having all the rooms facing one direction is pretty good, because you actually get more natural light coming into the units itself overall. Okay, so for this kind of layout, we actually have 2 different types of stacks. Both are facing the north direction, which is our future development site. I think stack will be better because you actually get a further setback, but the only thing is that because it's beside the tennis court, you actually have to bear with the potential noise and fun and laughter coming out from the tennis court. Okay, so coming on to the 3-bedder premium at 1076 square feet, we have 2 different directions. We have either the south facing or the north facing at stack 17. Well, the south facing, certain parts of the year, you may actually get the west sun coming into your balcony area. Okay, but if not, I think it should be fine. In fact, yeah, 17 may also get that west sun, depending on certain part of the years, the movement of the sun position as well. Okay, but looking at the floor plan, stack 2 actually has a slight difference in the entrance area. Alright, which is not shown over here. You do get a little bit more niche to actually put up some of your storage area. Other than that, the rest of the unit is pretty much the same for stack 17 and stack 2. Alright, so coming in from the entrance area, we have the kitchen, and this time round, connecting to the kitchen, we have the yard area. So this is probably a place where you can install your Stigan electric laundry rack. And then we also have an additional home shelter as compared to the previous 915 square feet. So these are the differences. You have additional yard, you have additional home shelter, and probably a bigger size master room as well. Alright, if you compare with the small size 3-bedder. So you can gauge a little bit whether this is necessary to your needs, because if I look at the calculator, 1076 square feet minus 915, the difference is only about 161 square feet. The step up would probably be about 300 to 350,000. I think probably is quite reasonable. Yeah, I think it's quite reasonable for that extra yard area, making it more livable with a home shelter and still not compromising on your storage, because the developers still provide you with the storage. But what I like is, of course, the huge master bedroom. Alright, so yeah, but if not, you can see the price difference, whether it's worth it to pay up another 300,000 for that difference or not. Okay. So coming on to a 4-bedder layout analysis. Now 4-bedder over here, this is really one of the best layout I've seen. In fact, there are different types of 4-bedder. We have a type 4A, which in my opinion is really very good. And then we have the type 4B. This is fantastic. All the rooms are all on one side. And then the cream of the crop, which is also the show unit, we have the 4C layout at 1399. Alright, so I'm going to touch on later, but let's come back to the 1184 square feet 4-bedder layout, stack 13 facing the Hillock Park. Over here, I think pretty much the same as the 3-bedder premium, just that you actually have a walk-in wardrobe concept for your master room. So can you imagine your whole master room being so huge? Alright, the feeling of it is really great. And the best thing is that developer actually have all the rooms again facing on one direction. This time around, the Hillock Park view. So stack 13, I would say also pretty premium if you're going to compare with stack 16. I think 13 and 16 are both very good stack. We're going to touch on 16 later. Alright, so coming in over here from the door, we have a kitchen. Probably this kitchen is close to 9 square meters already. That leads you to the home shelter. So if you do have a stay-in helper and you do not want to sacrifice one room, we can always leave the door open and place a single bed inside, right? And you still have a storage area outside. So at the end of the day, you do not sacrifice your storage area. I think I emphasize enough on the storage in terms of own stay. right? So then we have the living dining. This is 3 meters by, this is about 6.25. Okay, pretty good size. I think 3 meters by 6.25 gives you about close to 19 square meters. Not exactly huge, but livable space, good enough. And now when all the rooms are on one side, there is this issue over here where a lot of people are saying that these are wasted space. Well, I cannot deny, but see if you want to actually have this so-called wasted space for the matter that you actually get a brighter unit or not and better view. Alright, so to each his own, you analyze and you see which is better for you. Alright, so that's for the 1184 Type 4A. Now coming on to the Type 4B, the difference over here is actually on the walk-in wardrobe. This time round, maybe the room may feel a little bit smaller as compared to the previous one, because the previous one was entirely huge. We actually have a very good length of about 4.8 meters, right? But this one, you actually have it as about 2.7 meters. And in terms of the width, maybe another 3.7. So visually, I think Type 4A will give you a wider and more spacious master room. Whereas Type 4B, yeah, you're just gonna accept the fact that the walk-in closet is actually tucked on one side instead. Well, the rest of the thing are pretty much the same, but facing wise, you still get a very good south facing, and this time round is also a pool view and Hillock Park facing. Maybe lacks a little bit of the privacy because Stack 17 may actually look into your unit. That's the only thing, but if not, go for Stack 13. Perfect. Alright. Now, the cream of the crop, 1399 square feet. This is also our show unit. If you want to take a look, just let me know, give me a call. I'll be happy to show you the show gallery. But right now, let's study the floor plan first. This is fantastic because this floor plan comes with 3 different storage areas. The first one, as you enter, you actually have a home shelter by the side. More for your bulky items, maybe your bicycle, maybe things that you actually move in and out of the house very often. You do not want to bring it into the living area, right? So you can store it at the home shelter area, right? And then as you come into the kitchen, there's another storage over here. This is the usual 1 square meter storage, good enough to store your cooking appliances or even some of your cleaning appliances, right? And then lastly, we have the third storage over here. Sometimes these can be also converted to a helper's area where they can have their single bed over here and still have a little bit of a storage space, right? So very, very livable layout. I would say fantastic, because this time round, this is what we call a rectilinear layout into the living dining area at 5.35 meters. In the market, I think we really like this kind of wide landscape layout where you have your dining and your living back to back. Some people may not like it because they feel that the sofa may have some movement and shifting as you sit down and watch the TV. But I personally like it because I like my place to be bright and airy, and this would really help a lot. Alright, close to 2 meter breadth of the balcony space, that would actually allow you to put your dining set also. Some people may want to deck it up so that you can extend your whole living dining to even bigger space. A lot of flexibility over here. And this layout itself, it comes with a lot of toilets. In fact, every single room have direct access to the bathroom directly. Okay, so I think for elderly folks, for younger kids, I think it's going to be very convenient. You have a family of 4 or 5. This will be perfect because the kids can take up this room, they share the bathroom, and then we have maybe our grandparents staying with us, they can also take up this room, have a direct access to the bathroom. And then coming on to the master room, well, it's a little bit of a disappointment for me because I think when I was there, it feels a little bit claustrophobic. I don't know why, but looking at the measurement, we actually have a pretty good 3.7 meters by 2.7. I mean, this is pretty normal because when I look at the floor plan, it says that the master room is huge. But when I step inside, I think most of the space actually goes to the walk-in closet. Alright, so if you are able to accept that, I think these 1399 square feet at stack 3 and 16 will be perfect. And of course, I would actually go for stack 16, given that I'm block view of the Hillock Park. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think, which stack will you choose and which layout will you choose. Alright, so we are done with the floor plan analysis. Lastly, I'm going to share with you on the price advantage if you were to enter on a harmonization project. What exactly is this whole harmonization about? So in the past, the aircon ledge are actually counted as part of your GFA, right? You actually have to pay for it, part of your strata area. But right now, it is being excluded. So we're going to take reference from 2 projects in the Lentor area, namely the Lentor Hills Residences, which is a non-harmonized project, and then Lentor Mansion, which is a harmonized project. Alright, so looking at the data, right, in terms of PSF, harmonized project will actually have a slightly higher PSF because the developer actually wants to compensate for the potential loss that they may have when it brings down the GFA itself. But in terms of the quantum itself, you actually see that there's a huge difference because for the non-harmonized project, it is actually selling at 1.639, whereas the harmonized project, because the square feet is lower, it is actually selling at a lower quantum. Alright, so with that, you actually do have a saving of about close to 60,000 for purchasing a harmonized project. Well, if you'd like to understand a little bit more on the pre and the post harmonization project and how does it impact you as a buyer, feel free to drop me a DM or maybe comments down in the comment section below so that I can reach out to you directly. And with that, we are coming to the end of the project review for Lentor Central Residences. The preview is going to be on the 22nd of February onwards, so do give me a call if you'd like to just visit the show gallery. But if not, I will see you in the next project analysis video. Bye!